Hey guys, what is up? Sam or Scorpiola here and welcome to my guide for how to double upgrade the Ripsaw Wonder Weapon within the Darkest Shore. Now I know quite a few people have made guides on this, but the reason I wanted to make mine and put my stamp on it is because a lot of people have simply covered one step of it, being the last step, but I wanted to cover all of it because you do have to do a few steps of the main quest to get to this point. I want to cover in this guide the minimal amount of main quests that you have to do to get this weapon fully upgraded. This is just going to focus on the Wonder Weapon. A full Easter egg guide may come down the line, but right now it's all about this Wonder Weapon. So yeah, enjoy. 3, 2, 1. Right, so to get this started we're going to need power on. There's going to be 2 switches for this. So firstly, run up from spawn and open up the U-boat pen store. Then on your right you'll see a power switch. Enable this to enable the first set of power in the facility. There'll be one more switch that we'll get to in a minute. This is also here worth noting that you have the buildable table right here. This is where we'll eventually assemble the Saw Wonder Weapon once we have both parts. It's also at this point I would recommend buying the Type 100. It's great for points and for killing some zombies because this whole Easter egg is going to take up through a fair few rounds. Then you're simply going to keep running up through the hill and open up the bunker's door. These doors are going to take you a lot of points, so yeah, make sure you have plenty. Then open the overlook, and then finally this door up here to the artillery bunker, where you will find the power switch. Interact with that. Power is now fully on. Now we're going to get the second part for the Saw Wonder Weapon. The 3 locations are firstly on the bed here, as I show in the video. On this table over here next to a record player, where I find it, as you can see. And then thirdly, next to some radio equipment by the other entrance. Simply back out of that area now and to open up the next set of doors, which will be towards Bunker 1. These doors will take you towards Pack-a-Punch, so yeah, we will be getting that open in a bit. Keep opening these doors until you see where I am, and then you'll see a soldier on your left, and he will have the second saw part. Interact with him, and then simply go back to the buildable table I showed you earlier and assemble it. You will now need to gather 2,500 points before you can purchase the Saw Wonder Weapon. So once you gather the points to buy the Saw Weapon, go ahead and buy that and you can move on to the next step, and that's simply going to be to get a charged zombie spine. This can take a little bit of time depending on how lucky you get, but it's really easy. All you want to do is press right on your D-pad to bring out the Saw Weapon, and then hold LT and RT and go up to zombies within melee range to perform a special execution. And then whilst this animation is playing, hold square, and then once it is complete, a zombie spine will pop out. You're going to need to keep doing this until you eventually get a charged one. As you'll see in the video, the charged one will give off electric sparks and it will be glowing, it will be very clear. And also worth noting, very clear where you'll get this, because you'll have a red bar at the bottom of your screen as I do here. Then you're going to simply go back to the table and hold square on it to place down the spine. Now you're going to want to get kills by this table. Now this is somewhere between 25 and 30 we believe, but yeah, this is just get kills. It doesn't have to be with the saw, it can be with any weapon. I just chose to use the saw because it's very good. Once this is then done, you simply have to take out the saw and hold square to infuse it, and then the saw upgrade can be bought for 500 points. This weapon can now actually be shot, and you will actually be able to fire the saw projectile by simply pressing the right trigger. The next step is super simple. All you want to do is run out the back of U-boat pens holding your Ripsaw, and simply all you want to do is go up to the corpse that you see me pointing at here, shoot the head of it, and then this head will fall and can be picked up. So next we're going to be opening up Pack-a-Punch because it's going to be basically essential for the next step. So simply to get started, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to the minecart entrance at the top of the hill, directly up the slope from where we got the part from the dead body. So simply you want to go up to this and you want to toggle the location of it until the stick faces to the right towards the strand side. So then simply go into the minecart and activate it, and you'll go on this minecart ride kind of thing. There will be bombers on this track. You simply want to kill these. You want to try and avoid taking damage as much as possible. And at some point in your journey, you're going to see the Electro now trigger pop up. All you want to do is interact with that to pick it up. Then this will take you to spawn. Once you arrive there, you want to toggle the location again. Set it towards the right again, towards U-boat holes, or the blue side. Then you simply want to head up that again. This time there'll be no bombers, as long as you do it in the same round. And then again, wait for that trigger to pop up and interact with it. Then once you're there, for the final part you want to set it to the right again to grabbing, which is the green side, and go through it again, and you will again just see the pop-up, interact with it to pick up. You will now have all 3 items you need to open up Pack-a-Punch. Then you simply want to go right to the body where we saw earlier, and there is a machine here. Just interact with it 4 times, and yeah, then the 4 items will go in. There is already one sitting in there, but the items will go in. You'll see a pop-up come up on screen, and Pack-a-Punch will now come up through the elevator and is now open and available to be used. Right, so now you're going to want to make sure you've got Pack-a-Punch guns, and ideally perks the next step. We'll talk through perks in a second. But first, this is what I recommend: put the 1911 pistol on as your starting weapon. You're going to want to Pack-a-Punch that to get the Bacon Eggs explosive pistols. It's going to be so helpful for this next step, especially in solo. I'd also recommend you pick up perks. I'd recommend the double damage perk, the speed perk, and the sprint perk. Then you simply want to go to the U-boat pens area and go to where you see the decapitated body and interact with it to place the head that we picked up earlier. Then right by this head you'll see 2 batteries on the ground. You want to charge this with souls. These kills, somewhere between 10 and 15 kills of any type of zombie. This can include special zombies or whatever. You simply want to be getting kills in the general area of it until it's fully charged. Once it's fully charged, then you'll actually get an audio quote from Straub, and once this wraps up, we're going to end up in a very intense thing. So as you can see, in 3 corners of the room there's 3 valves I'm going to point out. What is important to note is throughout this area, the floor is going to go on fire. Parts of the floor will go on fire, and once those areas are on fire, you will take a lot of damage when you go on these things, so you want to avoid those particular grates as much as humanly possible. And simply to get this to end, what you need to do is you need to get the 3 valves turned off. That is going to be very important. That's all you need to do. You need to get those valves off. So you just need to wait until you have a clear path to them. Even a little bit of fire on the ground, it will be damaging you. So just don't activate them until the path is clear. And Pack-a-Punch is very helpful for this. You want nothing on you, ideally, whilst you're turning these. But yeah, simply go around and turn the 3 as you get an available path. And then, yeah, and then it will be step complete. All the zombies will die out around you, and yeah, and then an audio quote will start. It's very important to note as well the assassin zombie, the special zombie, also known as the Mueller for this map, or Mukla, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, that has a chance to spawn throughout this, so you want to make sure if that spawns you're careful and you kill it. Then you want to go back up to the corpse, which will now be resurrected, and it's kind of like struggling about. Interact with it to open the freezer room. You also see a very gruesome animation here, and then once you're in this room, a Brenner zombie will spawn. I would avoid this as much as possible. Keep your distance. The Ripsaw is great for killing this guy, but yeah, you just want to take him out, and then you can move on to the next step. So while the next step technically isn't essential to this, it is just going to make it so much easier if you do it, and if you don't do it, it's going to be much harder to do the steps to come. So I would suggest you just get on with it and do this. It's a fun step, it's a really cool step, and it's honestly pretty easy. So basically, after you've killed that Brenner, what you're going to want to do is you're going to go up to the surface, up towards the bunkers, and you will find that there are planes flying over which will shoot at you and they'll be trying to kill you, and they will do a lot of damage. So killing them is going to be really simple. All you want to do is get into one of these flat guns. These are awesome. As you'll see, if you go up to them, you can just buy to access them for 750 points, and then yeah, you'll be able to use them. It's also worth noting that zombies will try and attack you during this. If zombies are around, they will try and attack you whilst you're in the cannon. You yourself won't take damage, but the cannon will gradually take damage, as you'll see from the bar at the bottom. If this hits 0, you'll simply be kicked out of the cannon, and the cannon will enter a cooldown. So yeah, you're just basically going to want to shoot at the planes that fly over until they all come down. They'll come over in separate waves, and you just want to shoot them in this cannon. The pellets have a bit of travel time, so account for that. And yeah, you'll see a notification at the top once you've shot them all down. So yeah, just keep shooting down planes until you eventually get that, and you can then move on to the next step. Right, so after they're all shot down, you want to go back to the room we opened earlier after we did the whole thing where we opened the corpse gate, and you simply want to go up to the machine with a green panel on it, and you simply want to interact with it, and it will then spawn in this bomber guy. It's worth noting, this guy will not be hostile. He will not be trying to kill you. You have to protect him. Zombies will be going for him now, and simply he will die in about 4 shots. You need to escort him all the way up to the AA gun at the top, so that he will then enable you to be able to actually load ammo into this thing. He will die in about 4 shots. 4 hits. You need to be very careful. Your bullets themselves will not damage him, but yeah, the zombies will, they'll just go for him, and if you're doing this on a high round, you just need to be really careful. And then yeah, that's about all you need to do for that. Then once that is done, you'll see in the notification at the top, he will place an Überschnell thing in a wee holder up the top, and you simply want to charge souls around this. And yeah, you just want to keep getting kills around this machine until it will eventually stop taking the souls. It's very distinct when it's taking the souls. You get the usual red electricity animation. Yeah, just keep getting kills around it until that's done, and now this thing will be loaded with ammo so that you can move on to the final step of this. Okay, so this last step is quite complex to explain, so I'm going to try and put this as simply as possible. That you're going to need to imagine one of these Enigma machines which has 6 different cogs on it, and each one of these will show some kind of value which will allow you to get the 2 different numbers you want. So basically you're going to go around these 6 different machine locations, which I'm about to show you, and note what it shows as its value, be it a plus or minus or some number. And then you're going to look at that machine and you're going to see which of the 6 cog slots that value is shown. And so the best way I can really explain this is just to, we'll show this to you and just kind of talk you through it. So the first location, if we just go up from spawn directly on your left into this hallway, and if we look in with a sniper scope, you'll be able to see the first machine, which clearly shows a minus, and it's in the first of the cog slots. These are random locations and the value will be different every time. Well, the locations will be in these 6 locations every time, but the value it shows will be different. So then if we just go out from there towards the submarine pen, and if we just prone in front of this jail cell I'm about to show you here, and zoom in with your sniper, you'll see a 0 in, again, the second slot. So it does get fairly simple. You just kind of have to understand how this step works and kind of the randomness of how these could show any value. And then if we keep going up this hill, as we go towards the bunkers, you'll be able to see, if we go a little bit further, there's a wee bridge kind of thing. On this thing, it shows a 2 in its 3rd slot. Again, continue to go up to the bunkers, all the way up this hill, past the combat shotgun wall by. And then if we want to go to the right towards bunker 1 to get this first one, and it will just take us towards Pack-a-Punch, and it's directly up, like, you'll need to go prone in front of this flat gun. Now, here you'll see that the value is a 5, and that is in the last slot of it. What's important to remember is how these, despite the fact that they all show multiple values on it, you need to know how to read these machines, which is why I've actually been putting at the top what the value is, so you can see, you'll get an idea of how you're meant to read it. But then if you just keep going towards the artillery bunker, and if you go next to the power switch, and if you look into this locker, you'll see it shows a plus in the 4th slot. It's also, you need to know that the 1st and 4th slots will always be a plus or a minus, so if you're not getting that, then you're probably reading it wrong. And if we look at this last one here, then that is a 2 in its 5th slot. So yeah, now you have a complete code. I recommend noting this down as you go, and you should you'll end up here. If you imagine this just being split down the middle, you have minus 2 plus 25. That's what you're now going to enter into this machine. So it has 2 triggers on it to raise and lower the elevation on the left one. This one you'll enter your first 3 numbers, which is the 2, so we just put the minus 2 into here. And then set angle right to increase it, so you just increase it up until you reach 25. Then all you want to do is you want to, well, I'm being attacked by a zombie here, so you want to train around, but then yeah, just press the fire button, and yeah, pick up that coil, and now you can go to the Pack-a-Punch machine. And guys, at that point, it is quest complete. All you then have to do is hold right in your D-pad to take out your Ripsaw, making sure you have that. Go up to the Pack-a-Punch machine and you can place it in and upgrade it. This will work for every player on your game the second anyone's enabled this. That's only one person has to do this and then everyone can upgrade. But yeah, this is just going to give you a bunch of extra ammo, a bunch of extra damage. You're going to be able to kill so many more zombies with a single shot of this. And yeah, that's about all you have to do for this guide. It's a bit tricky, but once you get it down, you can do it solo, you can do it co-op, as a team. Definitely easier co-op, but solo I managed it at obviously quite a high round. But yeah, that's about it, guys. That's going to wrap up this guide. I hope it has helped you in any way. Make sure to smash the subscribe button, and yeah, see you on more great videos. Bye!